Greetings ladies and gentlemen, I'm Gary Smith and welcome to day 3 of the Modern Masters 2017 spoiler season. There's been a lot of spoilers in the last 24 hours and we've got a lot to get through, so much so in fact I've actually had to write down some notes to make sure I remember every single card. So starting off with, we've actually got a cycle of at least 3 miracle cards spoilt so far at Mythic Rare. There might be more part of this cycle, but it's unlikely given how some of the colours already have 2 or more mythics in them. So far this is Bonfire of the Damned, Temporal Mastery and Entreat the Angels. All 3 of these cards are pretty powerful in Limited, although Temporal Mastery is really only really playable in Commander or one of the modern take-a-turn decks. It's not really that powerful in Limited compared to the other 2. It doesn't advance your board state, and if it gives you an extra turn, sometimes that just can't do anything if you're blocked or, you know, there's not much way of you advancing the board state. Pretty cool. Bit sad to see Temporal Mastery, really, to be honest, at Mythic, wasting a Mythic slot. But the other 2 are pretty good for limited purposes anyway, so I'm really glad to see them in this set. Next up we have Might of Old Crowser at Uncommon. Many of you players out there who play Infect will know this, as the instant gives you +2/+2, but if you play it on your main phase it gives you +4/+4. Again, a very powerful card, very good for Infect, and very good for Limited as it gives you ways to play around with it. Do you just go for the +2/+2, or do you go for the more powerful +4/+4 but risk getting blown out by a removal spell? Very good. Next up we have a double duo, or duo of cards at Uncommon, Path to Exile and Inquisition of Kozilek, and I'm really glad to see both of these at Uncommon. Was expecting both of these to be rare if they were in the set. We already saw Inquisition as a rare in Conspiracy 2, and there was no reason to expect Path to Exile wouldn't follow suit if it was reprinted. So great to see them both at Uncommon. Going to be absolutely great for the draft format, and finally shows me why Snapcaster Mage is Mythic, because there's going to be a lot of powerful 1 or 2 mana instants and sorceries in this set, and they don't want you going absurd with them. Next up we have Zur the Enchanter. Many people know this as the Esper guy who brings in enchantments whenever he attacks. Often these are to protect him, sometimes they can be a detention sphere, or even Necropotence in Commander. Apparently he's one of the most powerful commanders in Tier 1 competitiveness, though I've never actually seen him played myself. Though I might have to build a Zur the Enchanter deck if I open him in one of my drafts. Next up we have Stony Silence, the white sideboard of choice card for pretty much every deck that wants to be able to defeat Affinity, as well as other decks like, I don't know, how about Lantern Control? Never being able to activate an artifact's abilities are really powerful against those 2 decks, making this one of the most powerful sideboard cards in Modern. Next up we have Linvala, Keeper of Silence, again a very powerful creature in Modern. It stops all creatures' effects, and that's a lot of them. Also, all creatures activate abilities, which is a lot of them, and in fact pretty much locks some combo decks out of the format. It locks the Kiki Core deck out because that's all about creatures activate abilities if you have it on the field. It doesn't see as much play as it used to do outside of Pod, but it can definitely be a card that sees some play in sideboards and comes in the right matchup. Again, a great reprint. It is a Mythic, but then again, white does need a good Mythic in this set. Next up we have Abyssal Spectre at Uncommon, making this the 2nd Uncommon Spectre in the set, making basically red-black or black-red-blue, I attack your hand, very good. I think it's really good for the Unearth deck, to be honest. Being able to get so much card advantage by just stripping your opponent's hands, very good. Combine that with the card advantage of Unearth, and that's crazy. Very powerful Uncommon, definitely going to be a high pick in Limited, especially with flying. Sure, it's 4 mana, but it's a very powerful card. Next up we have Phantasmal Image, and I love seeing this card again. I have never really got to play it. I did own a few at once, but traded them away since. I originally tried to build up Merfolk and then kind of gave up because no one played Modern in the shop at the time. Now that Modern scene is growing, it might be worth picking these up now that they get a bit cheaper, or if I open any. Next up we have Seance, thanks courtesy of Loading Ready Run's video, which I recommend you go and watch after this video if you haven't already seen it. That is such a great video for such a bad card. Yes, I know it's got some limited applications, but seeing this as a rare when Goblin Assault is an uncommon makes me weep. That, fling up a rare slot in my pack? Yeah, no, that's a really bad card, Wizards. Why? Why? Come on. Next up we have Pyromancer's Ascension. Red, 1 of the red for this rare. It's a bit weird seeing this at the moment, because well, this version of Storm's not seeing play anymore. Obviously, they made the set before they banned, or sorted out the set cards before they banned Gitaxian Probe in Modern, which was the main reason that Storm played this. Now, without Gitaxian Probe, the Storm has moved towards a cheaper version with Bural and Goblin Electromancer, so a cost reduction strategy with Gifts Ungiven package. So it's moved away from this, but the fact there's another card that I'll mention in a bit, does lead me to believe they might want Storm to be a draft archetype or sub-archetype, which I think will be really good. Next up we have Sphinx's Revelation, a mythic I love seeing. I love this card. Never got to play it in Standard myself, never having the money at the time to build a control deck, but getting hands on one of these so I can actually have one to add in one of my decks is going to be great. Going to be great in draft if you open it. If you're managing to get to that late stage of the game, you're going to absolutely obliterate your opponent in card advantage as well as life, so that's very good. Next up we have Death Shadow. Death Shadow aggro is a deck that's risen to prominence since the last Modern Masters, so it's very good to see this card see print. In fact, I don't remember seeing it before 2015, so seeing this reprinted as its price has increased dramatically since it's kind of become a major aggro deck is very, very good. Should help to keep the prices down prematurely, and Death Shadow hasn't gone away with the Gitaxian Probe ban. Apparently it's got better, which is weird because it's lost a free way to reduce its life and cycle, so that's weird, but you know, Death Shadow's still here, so that's very, very good. Next up we have Abrupt Decay, and I'm really surprised this isn't a mythic. With Snapcaster Mage being a mythic, upshifted, I definitely expected a card like Abrupt Decay to get that same upshift treatment. Very powerful card, absolutely love it. Again, seeing this card in the set, this Modern Masters set is probably the best in terms of just playables across the set. Yes, it's got a cycle of mythics that are a bit mediocre, and a few rares here and there that are pretty awful. But as a whole, it's got some solid stuff. All it needs to get now is for tomorrow is to give us Serum Visions and Lightning Bolt, and I'll be ecstatic. Next up we have Craterhoof Behemoth, again a fairly powerful staple that sometimes see play in Modern, more in Legacy and Vintage, well Legacy I guess for Legacy Elves, but it's very nice to see this get a reprint. Again, it's a card that was creeping up over time, especially due to its commander use, so it's nice to see it reprinted. Next up we have Past in Flames. This card with Pyromancer's Ascension is one of the reasons I believe there's going to be a Storm sub-theme, because Past in Flames seems weird to include in a draft format like this, especially since it's recently got a reprint in Commander product, so it's not like it's not out there at all. Again though, it's a great card, absolutely love it. As a Storm kind of wannabe player, I just love this card, and I'm going to hopefully draft one along with a Snapcaster Mage and somehow draft Storm and go off in the evening. I really want that to happen. Next up we have I have no idea. Oh yeah, Viltrean Stinger. This card's great at uncommon. It pings for one, has Unearth. It combines really well with another spoiler for today, and that's Basilisk Collar. Giving this plus lifelink and death touch allows you to start shooting down enemy creatures one by one. Pretty powerful effect, and you know Basilisk Collar is going to be a high pick and draft. The utility it just gives your deck is obscene. Next up we have Extractor Demon, an Unearth rare I think, or at the very least it's a very valuable rare in terms of milling your opponent out. It's not fantastic, it's not amazing, but it's definitely a very interesting card to see. Next up we have Falkland Grass Aristocrat, you know, the 4-mana flying 3/1 with sacking that creature to give it indestructible, and if that's a human, put 1/1 counter on it. With flying and haste, this card is stupidly good. I absolutely love this card. Definitely going to be great for the Unearth strategy, just like one of the bombiest rares you can open or get past. It's going to be great to see. And our final spoiler today is something very, very exciting. It's Liliana the Veil. So nice to see this confirmed. So nice for this to get a reprint, by the way. I was checking prices earlier. This is going up upwards of £70. That's incredibly high for a Planeswalker that sees playing pretty much every black deck in Modern, apart from a few control decks, because it doesn't quite do what they want it to do. Incredibly powerful card. Love to see this reprinted. And again, just so much value to open in this set. So that's all the spoilers today. It was a bit of a rush, it was a big clunk. That's because I was busy this morning, so I couldn't quite film it. But thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.